Right then, I thought I'd take a little bit of time today to finally update on the M135 progress. I've owned the car for about a year and a half now, and all I can say is I still absolutely love it, and it's by far the best daily I've had and one of the best cars, best all-rounder I've had without a doubt. First thing I will say, still feels fast. It still feels really fast. How you guys think? I know what I need to do. I need to take my standard M135 or 140 and go get it remapped. It's absolutely beyond me. This is plenty enough for me on the road. Jesus Christ. When I bought the car, my plan was to leave it completely stock and just enjoy access to that lovely drivetrain. But unfortunately, I found that kind of wore off quite quickly, and I was left trying to seek enjoyment in a chassis that just wasn't up to it. It was essentially a 1 Series with a lot of power, and because it had so much power, it magnified the chassis weaknesses. So within a week or two of actually buying the car, I was straight on. Managed to get a set of Bilstein B14 coilovers. It was quite good actually. They had a summer sale on of 25% off, and then eBay had another 10% off that, so I got them for just over £600, which is insane really. So whilst I was doing that, I did the M4, lower arms, little spacers, and put them all on. The OEM suspension just never really worked, never really gelled. The rears just felt so uncomposed. It always felt like it was hopping and skipping across the surface of the road. Never felt like it gelled, never gave you any confidence at all, and it made it a lot harder to enjoy the car, if I'm honest. Coming from quite a lot of different little 2-seater sports cars, there's a very big difference. This 1 Series has to be able to carry 5 people and luggage. The payload is a lot higher, which is essentially why they have to spring it the way they do. Not only that, Germany, if you've ever driven in Germany, the roads there are incredible. Matt lives in the proving ground for suspension. I can be much happier with a lesser suspension than Matt, purely because the roads in Lincolnshire are so full of subsidence, whereas over here, they're not great, they're not Germany, but they are damn good. I understand why Birds spec their own dampers, a lot softer than even Bilstein do, but I've stuck these on and instantly it's made the car feel more alive, more performance orientated. It still falls apart at the limit a little bit, but it's eager and it's more playful, and it's just solved the inherent issues that the OEMs do. So that alone for the money was well worth it. The second I bought it, I took the budget tyres off. They were quite fun for skidding about on, but I got some Michelin PS4s, and I'm not gonna lie, I've either had cheap daily tyres on Eco Box dailies, or I've had semi-slicks on my track cars. I've never had a performance road tyre, which sounds odd really, but it's the truth. So having these PS4s, what a game changer and eye-opener they were for me. I always thought you had your road tyres, semi-slicks, slicks, quite a layman kind of simple way of thinking about it, but just being honest with you, that's how I actually thought. But essentially, these PS4s have made my 808Rs and all sorts look crap. They're so good on the road. Again, it's just buying for the application. So good on the road, so good in the wet, so confidence inspiring, mega impressive, and a game changer for me. So of course they can't do everything. I actually was able to take this car on Silverstone, although I had no ideas of tracking it, unfortunately. The opportunity came up and I took it for a few sessions, and yeah, too right, the PS4's on a dry Silverstone track, yeah, it took a beating. So I'm just trying out a set of DS Uno pads now, and once again they have been so transformative. I think the car's got so much potential, and then it's just oddly masked. The calipers essentially are exactly the same that come on a lot of the M cars, but they seem to just put these blocks of wood in as standard instead of brake pads. So you swap them out for some proper performance pads, and all of a sudden you've got access to something that feels 500% better than it did. So well happy with that, absolutely chuffed to bits. I actually thought there was something drastically wrong when I first got the car, because I had a local garage to me check it all over, make sure it was all good, and we noticed the rear subframe moves a lot, a hell of a lot, to the point where you think that isn't right. Turns out it was absolutely fine, and that is just how they are. So some simple Powerflex void fillers did the job. What I will say, although I've done this and it's improved the car and I love it to bits, it's never inspired me to go out for a drive. Never has. It makes every journey I have to do so much better and so much more enjoyable, and it's easy to just jump in it every day. It's just a 1 Series, it's just fantastic. But I've never, I think twice, I think when I first fitted the Bilsteins, I went out for a drive, and when I first fitted the brakes, I went out for just a drive. Other than that, you know, I use it as a very fast family wagon and a van. You know, pulled the seats down, and it's perfect for fitting the blade engine in when I've had to take that over to be rebuilt, fit the bikes in, just everything. It's just been awesome for. It's just a utility vehicle, but a very, very fast one. So still, realistically, I've been weighing up whether to go and get an LSD, maybe some ARBs. There's always so much money, and I know it's got residual value in the LSD, but I just can't really put my money where my mouth is with it, because I enjoy it so much the way it is. I'm wondering if I had an LSD, I'd start to want to get out and drive it more, just for the sake of driving it. It's really weird, because I properly love it, and maybe it's the theatre I'm missing. Maybe I like going out in my little sports cars with the roof down, or the roll cage, and a bit of drama. This essentially, I'm in a 1 Series cockpit going very fast. I don't know what it is. It just doesn't evoke any kind of response. It just kind of does its thing. I mean, again, for so long I took it for granted. Everything that these cars do, they do so subtly and so slyly. You almost totally take them for granted and expect it as standard. It's only when you get in other cars you then suddenly go, hold on, yeah, the 1 Series does a hell of a lot. My little M135 does a hell of a lot without even really making me aware. And this is where I'm now in the dilemma. I'm wondering what to do next. Do I keep the car, invest in an LSD and some anti-roll bars? Not only that, if I'm doing that, do I really want to be able to track it, and the oil starvation issues being what they are? Do I then put a nice MMR baffle sump in? Or am I wasting my time and effort, and really I should just sell it and get an M2? M2s are really good money now, and I'm a bit tempted, if I'm honest, so I haven't made my mind up. What do you think? I was actually lucky enough to drive an M2 around Anglesey recently, and that was an eye-opener. It felt so taut, and I really enjoyed the DCT gearbox. Although I will say, I'm not sure whether the DCT would actually not be as good on the road. It felt a bit aggressive and urgent, whereas the ZF, it really looks after it. It really irons out. But the M2 just felt mega. But then again, I'll lose my fast van. So, you know, bikes in the back of that and everything, it's nowhere near as practical. Servicing costs, maintenance costs, everything will pretty much double. So is it really worth it? I can't work it out, so I could really do with some opinions. Do I keep this, spend a little bit of money on it, or do I just go for the M2? One thing I will say is the Diasunos, screechy.